Hey, before we dive in, make sure to subscribe if you love real stories that hit harder than your morning coffee. I never expected dinner at her apartment to feel like walking into a war zone. Her apartment smelled faintly of jasmine candles, the kind she lit when she wanted everything to feel perfect, like nothing could go wrong. But I could already sense it in the tension between her and him. Her male friend, Mark, had shown up unannounced, claiming he just wanted to catch up. But the way he smiled at her, leaned too close, and lingered over a coffee cup felt like a personal attack. I tried to shake it off, telling myself I was being paranoid. After all, we had been together for 3 years. I trusted her, or at least I wanted to. She greeted me warmly, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear, her perfume sweet and sharp, and the smell made my stomach twist. "I'm glad you came," she said, but her eyes flicked nervously toward him. I noticed the text notifications on her phone, buzzing constantly. Quick flashes of light she tried to hide, but didn't glance at me. Mark, oblivious to or intentionally ignoring the subtle cues, launched into stories about our crazy college days that included her more than once. His laugh was loud, invasive, like it was meant to fill the room and push me out. He made little jokes, leaned in close when she smiled, and threw glances my way as if challenging me to respond. I kept my jaw tight, my hands gripping the edge of the table until my knuckles turned white. At one point, he said something so disrespectful about me that it should have been a minor joke, but the venom in it made my stomach churn. I smiled at her, silently asking for her to shut him down, but she froze, looking between us as if waiting for someone else to act. The air was thick, almost tasting like betrayal, and I felt the first sting of panic. Had I misread her? Was she really on my side, or was this some kind of test? And then, as if on cue, she looked at me, eyes wide, lips slightly parted, and whispered something I didn't expect. Something that changed the entire room's temperature in a single heartbeat. The words she whispered still echo in my head. "Just don't make a scene." My heart slammed against my ribs, a mix of anger and disbelief. Don't make a scene? After everything he just said, she wanted me to stay quiet? I felt the heat rise to my ears, a slow burn that spread into every corner of my body. Mark laughed at something, probably his own joke, and I noticed her glance flicker to him again, brief but loaded. My gut twisted. I tried to focus on the conversation, but my mind kept circling back to the texts I'd seen earlier. They weren't from friends. Not casual. Quick, flirty messages. Emojis that didn't belong in platonic friendship. Laughter that seemed private, intimate. I had told myself I was being paranoid, but now, seeing her hesitation, the way she tilted her head away from me, it all added up. Mark leaned back, smirking like he owned the room. "You know," he said, voice smooth, "you got it lucky with her. She's fun. Not many girls can handle a guy like me." He winked at her. My stomach dropped, cold and heavy, like someone had handed me a brick. I could feel the tension radiating off her, the slight stiffening of her shoulders, the way her fingers tapped the table nervously. I wanted to ask her, "What's going on? Are you serious about us?" But the words stuck in my throat. Instead, I held my composure, my voice calm but ice cold. "Excuse me," I said, my eyes locked with his. "Did you just imply she's fun for you?" Mark chuckled, leaning forward. "I'm just saying the truth, man. No offense." "No offense," I repeated, my voice tighter now, almost cracking. "You just disrespected me in my own girlfriend's home, and somehow you think this is okay?" She flinched, and I could see the guilt, or maybe fear, in her eyes. She opened her mouth, probably to explain, to defend, but no words came. And in that silence, the betrayal hit me fully, the realization that the person I trusted most might have allowed this to happen, maybe even encouraged it in secret. Then, the text on her phone buzzed again. I caught a glimpse, a heart emoji from him. That was the last straw. My hands trembled slightly on the table. I knew what I had to do next, but before I could act, Mark leaned closer, his grin smug, and said something that made my blood run cold. He said, with that smirk that made my blood boil, "Relax, it's just fun. Don't be so sensitive." Fun. That word hung in the air like smoke, acrid and suffocating. I took a deep breath, feeling every ounce of control slip through my fingers, but I refused to yell, refused to explode. Calmly, I stood, the chair scraping sharply against the floor, and all eyes turned to me. You know what's not fun? I said slowly, each word deliberate. Being lied to, being disrespected in my own girlfriend's home, and pretending like everything's normal while your so-called friend flirts in front of you. She opened her mouth again, stammering, but I held up a hand. No, I'm done waiting for someone else to protect me. If you think ignoring this is okay, then maybe we need to rethink a lot of things. Mark laughed nervously now, realizing the tide had turned. Hey, man, chill. No. I interrupted, my voice firmer than I felt. You don't get to dismiss this. And you? I said, turning to her, if you thought hiding behind me while this happened was okay, you were wrong. The room was silent. You could hear the faint hum of the fridge, the clink of her cutlery she hadn't moved for minutes. Her eyes were wide, glistening with unshed tears, but there was no anger in them, only guilt, and maybe shame. I didn't mean, she started. You didn't mean to what? I asked, voice low. To betray me? To let him disrespect me? To send heart emojis behind my back? You didn't mean to. The silence returned, heavier now. Mark shifted uncomfortably, realizing he had no role here anymore, and quickly left, muttering excuses. I watched the door click shut behind him, then turned to her. The words I want to say, the heartbreak, the disappointment, the fury, piled up in my chest, too heavy to release in one go. All I could do was stand there, looking at her, seeing both the love I had once trusted and the cracks that betrayal had left behind. And in that moment, I knew something had changed forever. You can forgive. You can try to rebuild. But some things, once broken, leave permanent marks. If you've ever felt this kind of heartbreak or faced betrayal from someone you trusted, share your story in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe, because the world needs to hear that these moments, as painful as they are, remind us what real loyalty and respect look like.